going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the RAD Cast. I'm Dimmy Malata, and my friends call me Rogue Leader.
Did you almost be on the Scmoedown?
Yes, I did.
Nice. I'm Nicki Malata, and everybody calls me Dimmy.
I haven't done Beyond in a while. I do miss the Scmoedown, though.
I do.
I miss having it there. I don't miss competing.
Very much same.
Yeah.
Very much same. A very small part of me that likes to hurt myself misses it a little bit, but
No, like it was good. Like while we were in it, it was fun. We made a lot of friends, and like it was a special pocket of like 3 to 4 years. It was like, oh man, it's really special to be a part of. But then I look back on it, it's like I cannot believe
the amount of time,
because like how did we function back then, especially with a kid?
I don't think I did. That's the problem. I don't think I functioned outside of studying. I don't think I did.
Yeah,
as a human adult,
it was ridiculous. Like right when I got in after my audition, like right
she
when
was like 6 months old.
She was 6 months old. She just got born, and like I just got into the show, and I was like, how did we?
I remember. I think you were having your. I don't know why I associate these two things, but I feel like you were on your audition call with Christian because. By our luck, that's when you got in, was when you had to fucking pay for an audition. Everybody else was just like, somebody? You're in.
I think I'm the only one that
I think so. That. So that was cool. Glad that happened that way.
And it wasn't cheap.
But I remember that you were on your call with Christian and I was in the other room with her. And I feel like I was like getting her doctor's appointment for her ready or something. I don't know why like I associate getting a doctor's appointment for her and your audition with Christian. But I remember being in the other room and like trying to listen in. But yeah, you got in at a weird time. Yeah. Yeah. Because it was like everybody before you got in from either knowing Christian or knowing somebody that knew Christian. And then there was you. And it was like, you got to pay me many $100s. And then everybody else was like, you like Star Wars? You're in.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So I'm so glad I did it that way.
Yeah.
It paid off in the end.
Yeah. You know, it was still a good time. It's just unfortunate for us that's how it happened. But I miss like watching it and having it to look forward every week.
Yeah, I miss talking about it.
Yes.
It was, I miss our viewership.
I just miss having it to look forward to every week.
Yeah.
And, I miss like all of it because like I miss the pre-Titans.
Yes, I do. I miss the pre-Titans format.
But I also enjoyed the Titans format. There's things that I liked from both. I don't think that it was something I didn't like from pre-Titans, but there were things about Titans that I didn't like. There were things that I loved.
Titans was fun for what it was.
Yeah.
But like if I was to choose between like how would you want to view the Scmoedown? Old like pre-Titans is how it goes. Pre-digital, obviously.
Yeah. Well,
but like digital has we've had this conversations
many times with like the advantages of digital, but like season like the season that I got in and before, like between the season before and the season that I got in, I think that was like, oh man, this is like peak, the sweet spot of peak Scmoedown. But yeah, I was just thinking like, the other day, I'm like, God, I really miss watching it. And commentating on the matches and just having it around was so much fun. Yeah.
But then it's like, do you want to compete again?
Fuck no.
Fuck no. I'm not doing that to myself again. Like, I can't believe we did that to ourselves.
Yeah.
Because like I have so much time to do personal projects now and actual like work now. Like I can't believe what we did.
Same. It was looking back on it, I'm like, what the fuck was I thinking?
You shouldn't have been pressured to do it because that had a whole level more pressure of you.
Well, because I was already sick to my stomach helping you compete. Like and anytime you had a match, I would be sick to my stomach. And then when you started competing for the belt and you got it, you had to start to. I'm shocked I didn't projectile vomit all over the house from nerves.
Yeah, it was a weird like career going. Like my Scmoedown career is kind of funny. Because like the longer I competed, the more pressure got added on for many different reasons.
Yeah.
The pressure of getting that first win.
Right.
The pressure of getting to a title shot. The pressure of defending the title, which is probably the most pressure I've ever.
Once every goddamn week, a title defense.
That was fun.
Don't get me started. I'm still salty about so many things.
That was so much fun.
I'm so still so salty. It's like right here at the surface. It doesn't matter how much. I'll be fucking 80 years old and I'll still be like, I can't believe he didn't hear Tiderium. Are you fucking kidding me? How did you not hear that M at the end? Go back and replay it. Oh my God. Yeah, I'll be on my deathbed like, I just want him to admit that he heard him say the M at the end. Okay, he admitted it, and now I can die peacefully.
Next time Christian comes out here, it's just like, just admit it.
Just admit it. I won't tell anybody. I won't tell anybody. You can save face. I won't tell anybody. I just need you to tell me. So I can live the rest of my goddamn life in peace. Oh my God. There's so many things that happen either in one of your matches or one of my matches that it's an instant trigger for me.
What happened in your match?
My 5-pointer in our match.
Oh, yeah.
Not that I was going to win either way because you would have gotten your question because your question was stupid easy too. I forget what your question was.
It was Lulio Primac.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, at that point, that was like, one of you should have fucking known that. If you didn't know that, you shouldn't be there.
By the time that question actually finally came up, it's like, why didn't this come up in the first round? I'm salty about my last Jedi 5-pointer that got cut out because that was a legit right answer that people should have been able to appreciate that I got. I was thinking about that the other night of like our match because like sometimes I'll reminisce and it's like, oh man, I really wish this would have happened, that would have happened.
Bless you.
Little one's off in her own little world right now, but
she's got headphones on. She doesn't hear us say bad words.
Yeah, she's not hearing the fuck word. But I was reminiscing. I was like looking back. I was like, God. Because like I in my challenge I said I think we should throw the question out.
Did you say that?
I think I said the question should be thrown out because it wasn't clarified as to which one you were looking for. What I should have said, so it would have kept it in. That
my answer should have been accepted.
Yeah, that's what I should have said. It's like her answer should be accepted because
it was also true.
It was also true. That's what I should have said.
There were two different answers that would have satisfied that question,
and her answer should have been accepted. That's what I should have said. I'm like, God.
So it's your
because the question that actually got aired was such BS.
An insult.
Yeah.
It was an insult, the question. I think it was sniper configuration from Rogue One.
It's like,
which was a repeat question. Who got it the first time? This fucking guy.
And like
it was like insulting.
Round. It was like in the first round, right?
No, I think I got that in round 2 against Alex. Go figure if I remember that. I think I'm right. I think I got that in round 2 against Damon. Yeah. I think. Certain things I can't remember, but that I do. Yeah.
Because like I was just reminiscing, I was like, God, a dream situation probably would have been knowing that the last season, the last season was the last season.
Yeah.
I was like, God, man, it would have been great if I would have beat Thomas. Would have gone multiple choice on that 4 and 5 question or that 1 second round question that I gave up. Yeah. It's like I really wish I'd gone to multiple choice or would have been said 5 or whatever. I really wish I would have beaten Thomas, gone to spectacular, lost the belt to you. And then turn around and done an automatic rematch because it would have been 3 defenses, it would have gotten a rubber match.
Right.
And then that was it. Because there was only one title match for Star Wars, and that's probably what it would have ended up being, was just like Star Wars would have been digital. We would have already had a title match on the books. That probably would have been the spectacular match, a rematch for an automatic rubber. And then I win it off you, become the first 2 time. You would have been the first. It's like, God, that would have been such a dream scenario.
Oh God, you just made me think of another one of my triggers. No. Oh my God. I need to go to therapy.
You might as well vent right now. What's gonna happen? Are you gonna fire us?
No, I can't. Because
can you tell me what match it was at least?
It's yours and Thomas's match. Something that happened that didn't air. Mm-hmm. Out of respect for Thomas, I can't just air things out the way I want to. But it makes me mad.
No, there's a couple of things in that match. I'm like, I'm not salty. I'm not.
I am.
It's like when all is said and done, it's like it's here. That's really at the end of the day, it's here. We got to keep it, but because it's like I really wish things would have happened different. But when all is said and done, it's like I'm happy that we get to keep it. All that work wasn't for nothing.
For you. Easy to say for you. Fuck you, man.
Anyways.
I need to go to therapy, I think.
Just let it go. It's been gone for 2 years now.
Mama holds grudges.
We hold Scmoedown grudges, apparently.
Yes.
We have, and stupid grudges too. Like for the long.
Well, you're really competitive.
I'm really competitive. For the longest time, I held a grudge against Laura Kelly. For no reason whatsoever other than she beat me in a number 1 contender match. That was the only reason we held it. And then we finally talked to her and like finally met her in person after our match and got time to actually sit down and talk to her. It's like, God, she's such a sweetheart. She's an amazing person.
It's hard when you like the first time you meet somebody, like in the Scmoedown. It's hard the first time you meet somebody, you're going against them in a match.
Yeah.
Because I think I remember Laura telling us that she like got a certain impression of us when she first met us, and I was like, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
You probably thought that I was a whole ass bitch when you first met me. Yeah. And you would have, in that moment, I wouldn't blame you.
Yeah.
But then you meet them afterward, not under the pressure of competition, and you're like, wait a minute.
I think
you're really cool.
It was before I got a different impression of her before our for our title match at Collision, because there were certain things that I'm not going to go too into detail, that like certain things were supposed to happen that ended up didn't happen, and I was like, I called her up. I was like, look, this is the way it's going on because of this, and this. And it's like, oh, yeah, I understand.
Oh, yeah.
That whole situation of all that stuff. And we talked for like 30 minutes. It's like, I just want to let you know that this is happening because of this. I'm not doing it because of, I'm trying to be difficult. It's just these are the circumstances right now. And
made me think of something else that makes me mad. Not to do with Laura.
But it's like we said, the Kalinowski effect, or like just
the Chandru effect.
The Chandru effect. It was like you think about this one person just because like you've only interacted with them through the Scmoedown.
Yeah.
And you have this certain like idea of who this person is, and then you finally sit down and talk and spend actual time with this person. It's like, oh, what the fuck was I thinking?
Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. It's a show?
It's a show. We play characters. Oh, wait, you're just being salty because you lost to them? Yeah, but like, yeah, I do miss like the interactions with all these people that we've grown to know and become friends with. It's like, I miss hanging out with these people and talking to these people on a regular basis and all that stuff. But other than that, it's like, yeah, you can keep all that competing and all that stuff.
You can keep all that.
You can keep all that. I'm tired. I'm like, because I don't know would you compete again? Would you, if they brought it back, would you want to compete again and put the belt on line? Like, no. They're not getting the belt back. If they started up against like, yeah, Andrew, we need that belt. I was like, no. Sorry.
Right out of my cold dead fingers.
Yeah. Works really hard for this thing. It's staying here.
We both worked really hard for that thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't. Hell no.
I would help, but
I'd write questions.
Yeah. That's about it. But
I really wish. That was one thing that I said to PJ like 800,000 times. Like, oh man, one day I'm not going to compete anymore and I'm going to help you write questions. And he was like, hell yeah, brother. And then it just never got.
It just never got to it.
It just ended abruptly. But yeah.
Yeah, it was a special time.
It was.
It's a very real special time in our lives. It's just one of those times where, I did that. We took part in that. It was like that special pocket of the internet.
Yeah.
But
I also don't miss the negative comments.
Yeah, that I don't get. I don't miss either.
I don't miss that one bit.
Yeah.
I don't miss people saying shit about both of us. That's one thing I don't miss
Unwarranted. Either. Just like, why?
People that just like hated you for no reason. And said such mean things about you.
I don't get that. That's one thing I don't get. It's like, what did I do?
You didn't do anything.
I didn't do anything. I think a lot of it had to do with that first challenge with Scrimshaw.
Oh.
And it's like, oh, you shouldn't have. God's like, but
don't get me started.
But
oh my God, I need therapy.
Let's move on.
I need Scmoedown therapy. This was not planned. We weren't supposed to talk about this. No. How do we even fucking? Oh, you almost said be on the Scmoedown.
Yeah.
Bring it back. Full circle.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We do need to do like a reunion episode with like. We sort of did that for May the 4th.
Kind of.
But we need to have like a reunion episode every once in a while. Just bring back Scmoedown competitors.
Oh, and how we did the like guess the sound game.
Yeah.
Yeah. We should do that again. Now that I've done it and I realize that it's harder for the competitors than I thought it would be, we do it again and I make the questions more accessible. Because seriously, when I was getting those sound, if you haven't seen what we're talking about, it was like May the 4th.
May the 4th episode,
we played a game with a couple of our Star Wars Scmoedown friends where I picked out a sound clip from various of the 12 theatrically released movies and I would play them the clip. And just from hearing it alone, they had to guess like who said that line, what vehicle did you just hear, what movie was this? And I realized while I was getting the sound clips, I'm like, they're gonna be pissed that this is too easy. As I was getting some of these sounds, and then there was a couple that I played them, and I was like, they're gonna get this right away. And I played it, and you guys are like, play it again. Like,
you repeat the question.
I'm like, wow, I guess it is harder. I mean, when I'm picking out the sounds, I'm watching the movie, and I'm like, Easy. I guess it's harder when you're hearing it cold turkey, just hearing it. But yeah, we should do that again, and I'll make them a lot more accessible.
Yeah. You have a handful of clips.
I do. Still on my computer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. I think we should do that again.
Or we should do the thing that we talked about doing for a while, but we never actually did, where we have drinks and we look at our old flashcards and see how many of them we can still get.
I don't see.
I think that'd be fun.
I don't even want to do that.
I kind of do. Part of me does, but then I think I'll be upset with myself for getting them wrong, and it'll make me want to study again. That's
exactly why I don't want to do that.
Because you'll be like, God damn, I got to look at my flashcards again.
Yeah. I'm so over trivia now. Like sometimes like people will comment on my TikTok videos and stuff like that. And they're like, oh, did you actually know? It's like, no, I didn't. Oh, I actually did. I don't want to like go down a rabbit hole and like, try to correct them. It's like, I don't even want to do that. I'm so over it.
That is one thing.
Actually,
one thing I do enjoy post Scmoedown is whenever we do watch, like when we watch Kenobi or Book of Boba Fett, any of the shows that we've watched like since Scmoedown ended, that like, I think it was Andor. We were watching Andor, and they would be like Cassian's mom or the city they lived in, and they would say this name of a planet or somebody. I'm like, I don't give a fuck what that name was, and that is so rewarding.
Don't need to know that.
Because my immediate reaction is like, oh, Cassian's mom's name is whatever, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I don't give a fuck anymore. Her name could be fucking Beth for all I care. I don't really care, and I'm not even gonna try to look it up. I'm
not gonna commit that to my memory because I don't need to anymore.
I'm not gonna waste the brain cells or the penguins sitting on a glacier.
I'm not gonna sacrifice penguins on the glacier.
You feel me, fam? But no, it's very rewarding to not have to retain things. So yeah, I like that a lot. But one of these days, I would like to crack open my flashcards. I don't think I have Quizlet on my phone anymore, but I'm sure that they're still there.
I deleted that thing so fast.
I did too.
It's like, I don't need you anymore.
And
Get off my phone.
I imagined it was a flip phone, and I slammed it closed afterward.
Ooh, I miss flip phones. Hello. Flip it open.
Flip it over. Flip it close.
Flip it open. Flip it close. I am. Anyways,
let's not talk about things that make us angry because
writer strike.
I don't really have much to say on that.
I mean, it's all over.
Pay people what they deserve. CEOs are evil people because, well, not all of them, but like a lot of them.
Did you hear what Bob Iger said about the strike? Like,
piece of shit. What did he say?
He said that the writers and the actors have unreasonable expectations as to where this should go.
Oh, did you say that from your yacht, Bob?
He said it from a $1 billion retreat.
Oh,
that
very
good. He was meeting like Bezos and a bunch of others. CEO
Unrealistic demands. I want to feed my fucking family and make rent.
It's like the only thing I will say about Bob Iger is that he made some moves that kind of defined the last decade of Disney. Like acquiring Pixar, Lucasfilm, Marvel. It's like that changed the company for good. But then it's like Disney's in a really rough spot right now. Like there's rumors that he's looking to sell ABC, and he might sell all of Disney to...
Disney owns ABC?
Yeah, they own ABC, which owns ESPN. So like he's trying to sell off assets because they've lost, how much? I think they lost like $800 million or something like that in revenue. So they look, yeah. But there's also rumors that he's going to sell the entire company to Apple. I'm like, no,
Ew.
That's the worst move you can do. Because it's like, just sell off the assets. But it's like, yeah, the writer strike just boils down to people not getting paid what they're worth.
Crazy.
Crazy. It's dumb because
unrealistic.
It's like, yeah, like I remember the writers were on strike. I can't remember how long ago, but I do remember them being strike. Not fairly recently, but like, yeah, I think it did. They came to a new agreement, but it's like, why are they on strike again? Is it because the industry changed and they're not getting compensated for bringing in revenue for the company because streaming. Because like, and it's like, why are the actors on strike? And people are always commenting, it's like, why are these $1 million actors and these writers striking? Do not make enough? It's like, you're thinking of like the Sam Jacksons, the Robert Downey Jr.'s, the Matt Damon. Yeah, like everybody that's a household name as an actor, they don't really need the strike. They've made plenty of money.
But they're probably doing it as a statement.
Yeah, they're doing it as a statement because
using their platform.
Also, if they don't strike, then they'll lose their spot in the union. So it's like they have to do it, otherwise they'll lose their benefits, they'll lose all that stuff. But like we're talking about the actors that are like background characters, reoccurring characters on TV shows that like you kind of know their name, but you don't know their name really. It's like, oh, it's like if you think of an actor, it's like, oh, there, that one guy who's in that one TV show and he appeared. It's like those actors don't make millions of dollars. It's like when it really boils down to like actors are contracted workers. They don't make money unless they're working. And I think it's something like if you're a part of the union, you don't get benefits unless you make $24,000 a year. Oh. So it's like, and if you're not working, you didn't make that money that year, you lose your benefits. So it's like, and for actors of like the lower like background reoccurring characters, you have to do like maybe 3 to 4 to 5 jobs in 6 months to make that, or something. Something stupid like that. It's like you go from job to job, and you get paid for what you did. And if you don't make that money up, you lose all your health benefits, all your, life insurance and all the things that you would normally get.
And you can't fix your hernia when you're lifting 5-pound weights.
Exactly. Damn you, 15s.
Thank you.
Exactly.
15s, that's right.
So, but also it's like, what about these actors? It's like residuals is a huge part of streaming now. So it's like this, I remember watching this one video on TikTok, this one lady who was like, she wasn't a regular character. She was a reoccurring character that maybe appeared once every 2 episodes. As she wasn't like a key character, but she's like, you recognize her character from the show. I can't remember what the show is, but she's like, she got obviously got sent to streaming, and it was a popular show. And in the past 2 years, she made $80 in residuals. Meanwhile, the company's making millions off of it restreaming. So it's like, give the actors their cut. And since she stopped working on this, since it got streaming, it doesn't count. It counts towards her yearly income, but it wasn't nearly enough to make her benefits back, so she lost her benefits.
Jesus.
So it's like, and then that's why they're striking.
Couple that on top of that thing you told me about how they're looking to like scan people's faces.
That is the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Background characters with AI, so you never need them again. People are going to become disposable.
I don't think the studios think this through. It's like AI is a, I've talked about this many times.
A wonderfully terrifying thing.
It's a wonderfully terrifying thing. It's a great tool to get you started. It's a great thing to sort of like speed things along the process. But at the end of the day, you're gonna need a human behind whatever you're doing. Because like we said, that one lawyer got in trouble for using AI generated cases to help his case. Like, yo, dog, these are made up cases. It was like, at the end of the day, you should have done your job as a human person and double checked.
There are just certain things you can't replace.
You can't replace humans. Like AI, people forget AI stands for artificial. It's an artificial person. It's artificial intelligence. It's not actual intelligence. It bases its things off of things that have already been created. It can't create anything original because it needs to base it off of something. So it's like the whole, I think the studios are forgetting. It's like you can scan people in, but like at the end of the day, that performance that computer's giving you, it's not human. It's going to get repetitive. And like you put somebody in the background, it's like, why is that guy moving the same way for the past 15 minutes?
Like an NPC.
Yeah, like he's a fucking NPC. It's like you need people working, because nothing's ever going to replace the look and feel of a human being on screen. So, yeah. So that was the dumbest thing. It's like, yeah, they want to pay an actor to come in get paid for one day's work, scan their face and their likeness, and be able to use that for all eternity.
No,
it's like, and without their consent too. So they could put him in whatever they want. They can have them in the background of like something that's not very tasteful or something like that. It's like, oh, that's very scary. I don't want you using my image that way. It's like, if you want to use AI for background stuff, pay the person and get their consent. It's like, hey, we want to reuse your image for this project.
Exactly. For
this project, we'll pay you another day's work or equivalent to whatever. And we need your consent to use this. It's like, all right, fine. Tell me about the project. That was another thing. Like the Screen Actors Guild was arguing, like when they go for auditions, they want to know something about the project. And the studios came back like, no, we're not telling you anything about the project. You just come in and audition, dummy. It's like,
what am I auditioning for?
Yeah, what am I auditioning for?
Is this something happy? Is it comedy? What is it?
I get why when it's like these big budget projects, like a next Star Wars project or a next Marvel project, you have to stay a little hush hush and things like. I get that, but let me know something.
Yeah.
Like, I need to know something about
kind of gross snuff film.
Yeah.
Like, tell me what I'm getting into.
I need to know something about what I'm auditioning for. It's like, is it a bad guy? Is it a good guy? Or like,
what do you want?
Is it a comedy? Is it a drama? At least let me know something. No, yeah, I can just go in like, here are your lines.
How the hell do you audition if you don't know what you're auditioning for?
When you walk in the room, they give you the script. It's like, all right, read this, and then they give you direction on it. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not an actor. But it's like, I don't get the people behind these comments that are commenting on the strikes. Like they're like giving these negative like connotations. Like what's the point of this strike? And it's like, don't you know that the domino effect, now other industries are going to look at it and like they're not getting paid? It's like, yeah, exactly. This not getting paid for what you're worth isn't like confined to the entertainment industry. UPS is about to go on strike because they're not getting paid enough. Amazon, don't know why their workers haven't unionized, because we all heard horror stories about how little they get paid. Yeah. So it's like,
teachers.
Teacher.
God help us if teachers ever strike.
If this strike will show anything about anything, is nobody gets paid in this free market capitalism country that we're in. Nobody gets paid. The workers, I should say,
normal people. Yeah,
the working class does not get paid nearly enough as they should, because it's like, oh, come on, just work harder. We're just like, no,
I don't live to work, bro.
Yeah, I don't live to work, and two, you need to be paying me enough to make ends meet. With inflation and like interest rates going skyrocketing, nobody can afford to do anything anymore. It's like, and another thing that I was thinking about this the other day, it's like there's this like stigmatism or this like negative connotation around like contract work, and especially in the creative industries, like videography. It's like, you're doing what you love, right? It's like, no, I work from job to job because that's how I make money. Yeah. It's like, if I could land a job where I get like with like an agency or a studio or something that pays me regularly, like a paycheck, and I'm on the payroll, that'd be great. But like people look at people like contract work like me. It's like, yeah, we'll pay them as little money as possible to get a job done fast, which is sort of like what you market yourself as when you're trying to say, hey, I can get this done. I can turn this around for you in a couple of hours for this amount of money, or a couple of days for this amount of money. Or you can pay somebody on the payroll twice that and lose out money, and when you can just pay a contracted worker. And it's like, where's I going with this?
I have no
I don't know, but I just don't like this, like, because I had this conversation with this back and forth with somebody on TikTok who's also a videographer, and it's like, yeah, there's this weird like attitude towards the especially if you're like a photographer, videographer, an artist. Like, it's this weird thing around people. It's like, you're doing what you love, and like, you shouldn't complain about what the work you're getting. It's like, it's hard to get work.
Well, a lot of these people are probably doing something adjacent to what they really like, what they love, but it's not actually like, yes, you love videography, yes, you love editing, but this isn't necessarily the editing that you would be doing if it was, if you had your pick, anything and everything.
Yeah, if I could be making like short films for the rest of my life and editing that stuff, I would do it in a heartbeat. It's just that work isn't there.
Yeah, so it's similar, it's adjacent to it, but it's not it.
Yeah. So it's just weird. So it's like, stop complaining. You're doing, like, you're getting work. So yeah, it's not necessarily the work I would ideally be wanting me doing, and two, I would like to be getting paid a little bit more for what my time, I think what my time is worth. So, but because I remember, I think a couple of years ago, I got this prospective client email me. It's like, hey, I had this interview I want to shoot. I want to get turned around in this amount of time, and I need you to meet me here and it's like a 2-day shoot, like maybe a week's turnaround for the project. And it's like, can you give me a quote? I'm like, okay, this is my hourly rate. Depending on, so a whole 2 full days of shoot with this amount of work towards it. This is what I quoted. I'm like, are you a professional, bro? This is actually what the guy emailed me back, says, are you a professional? Because I can get somebody for half that price. I'm like, well, go ahead and get that person. This is my price. Yeah. It's like, what do you think? It's like, yeah, I've been doing this for several years. This is I told you, these are my rates. And this is how much. Wow. This is how much it's going to cost.
I feel like your rates are really good compared to other people's rates.
My rates are very competitive.
Wow, that guy was just a dick, huh?
I was just having this conversation with one of my friends who got me one client that I've had regular work for the past couple of months with, and she's like, you need to be charging more.
I've been telling you that for years. I'm so glad that she was able to convince me.
Yeah, she's like, if you feel that you want to have a rate increase, I've already greenlit it. Go ahead and just send the next invoice with your rate increase. I'm like, okay. So
It was that easy.
It was that because like I don't want to like because that's another thing about like being a contracted worker, especially in the creative industry. It's like, do I feel I'm charging enough? And I'm afraid if I charge more, I'm going to lose this client.
No, that's true.
So it's like
it's a fine line.
It's this fine line. It's like, do I charge more and get what I think I'm worth, or do I risk losing this client that I've worked with for several times, and like, man, Andrew, that's not really what we can afford right now. So it's like. And it's also this dance of when people like email you for the first time. It's like, hey, what are your rates? Now I've gotten into the habit of asking, what's your budget? So it's like now we can dance the price dance. It's like, well, I can get this done for this amount of work and this amount of time. But so that's usually how it ends up working. It's like, I can't afford that, or I can find somebody cheaper for it. It's like, well, you can get it cheaper, but I can guarantee you it's not going to be half as good as what I can crank out. But it's like, that's the gig, right? You pay for what you get in the creative industry. So it's like, yeah. you really just like nodding your head for the past minute. It's like, yep.
I want to talk about something fun.
What do you want? You want to talk about Jungkook's new single, which we've been playing on loop
on loop.
It's a good song.
I know it is.
It's a very good song.
I'm aware of that. I'm just glad that you finally have taste in music. Good taste.
Music really has never been my thing.
Music's always been my thing. Yeah. You've been a movies guy. I could kind of care less about movies. Couldn't care less.
I couldn't care less.
I couldn't care less about movies. But yeah, I've always been about music, and we're opposite in that regard.
Yeah.
You used to be Mr. Movies, and I'm like, you can go alone. I don't care. I really don't have any interest in seeing that.
I want to go back and watch more movies, but one, like, it's like we don't really.
That's the other thing. I'm not paying $25 to see a goddamn movie.
That's the bottom line. Like, movies cost way too much now.
It's ridiculous. Back in my day, you could see a matinee for $5.50.
Yeah, like back when I was reviewing movies, matinees were like $8 on a Sunday morning when I usually went to go. But now it's like,
an adult.
Yeah, I put it in my stories. I'm like, I want to go see the new Spider-Verse movie. I'm like, oh, well, she's kids in summer camp. Let me go jet off and watch this new Spider-Verse movie. $12 for a 10 a.m. showing on a Monday?
Pass.
You kidding me?
Hard pass. Mm-mm. Yeah, no, I've always been into music. Like, that's one thing. Oh, ooh. Hello?
Spam caller.
Speaking
hello.
Of music.
Or goodbye.
Hello. Imagine if your phone actually answered because you said that. Like, whenever we're in the house and we're not really doing anything, I'm like, it is too quiet in here. Like, I would just throw on a playlist on like a Bluetooth speaker because I'm like, it's just too fucking quiet in here. Yeah. Like, I don't know. Music has always just been my thing.
And you memorize lyrics really quickly.
I've always been into lyrics. I think I've mentioned this before, but a memory I have of trying to memorize lyrics was like, I don't remember how old I was. I was younger. I could probably triangulate my age if I looked at the year the song was released.
Yeah.
Country Grammar by Nelly. Whatever year that came out.
Oh, that was 2000. Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's 2000. Hold on. Country.
I'm going to say 2000.
Grammar.
5.
Nelly. Hold on.
Am I right?
Everybody. 2000.
2000. Wow. Samsonite. I was way off.
What? What is that?
It's from Dumb and Dumber, which is another movie you have to watch. I think you would.
Never seen it, but it does seem like the humor's on my wavelength.
It's the kind of humor you would love. It's peak Jim Carrey.
I think that there's a lot of those kinds of movies that I haven't seen, but I'm like, I probably would very much appreciate that.
I was waiting for like, kind of circling back to the Scmoedown. I was like in my back pocket if I would have answered a question and I would have got it wrong. I'm like, I wanted to go Samsonite. I was way off, and see if anybody who got it in that room.
Lost on me. In that room, everybody
would probably got it.
Except I would have been the only one. Like, what? Samsonite's a kind of TV, right? Isn't it?
No,
what's Samsonite?
It's
isn't it like a brand?
It's a luggage, like a. Because he looks at his briefcase, he's like, "Oh, Samsonite," because it's a Samsonite briefcase.
I thought it was
so they're like bags and like luggage and shit.
How embarrassing for me. So
yeah.
However the fuck old I was in 2000. I was probably in junior high, middle school.
2000?
Somewhere around there. 2000. I graduated in 2006.
You were probably 6th grade because I was in.
Or so?
I was in 8th.
Something like that.
You're probably.
I just remember trying to learn the lyrics because I've always been into knowing song lyrics because I love singing along.
Mm-hmm.
I've loved singing since I was a wee tot. Since I could talk, I've been singing.
Yeah.
So,
Greedy for belts, anybody?
don't. God, you're so annoying. I was trying to learn the lyrics to Country Grammar by Nelly. And so I remember looking up a lyrics website. And I think I was on my dad's computer because I probably didn't have one at that point.
Yeah.
And
back when the internet was new.
Back in the day, back when you would like print out MapQuest directions, you know? God. And I had these lyrics pulled up and I wanted to print them out so that I could learn them and whatever.
Read them while you listen to the song, yeah.
And I remember my mom came up and she was reading through the lyrics. She was like, absolutely not. Because I think it was this song, Country Grammar. I hope my mom's not listening to this.
It's
right now.
I think both our moms listen to the show.
Well,
very loosely. My mom puts it on the background for like just for the watch time. Thanks, Mom.
There's a part in the song I can't say it. I can't say it knowing that parents might hear it. I can't say these words out loud into the air. But there's a part in the song that I specifically remember that he said something that was like, oh, my mom goes, hell no, you're not printing out these lyrics. But I know the lyrics now. I'm an adult now. But
35-year-old lady.
I'm a 35-year-old lady now. But yeah, I've always been into learning song lyrics. And yeah, even still to this day, I look up song lyrics.
Well, now they're attached to the song. Now we have Google Music.
I love it. Oh my God. One of my things that I used to do back in the day, when I was probably more preteen, early teen, I remember I used to have a Windows media player on my computer, which still exists. I'm saying it like it's out, like doesn't exist anymore.
It's outdated.
It's still there. I had an old early 2000s Windows media player on my computer. And there was this thing, there was like and I've looked on the Windows media player on my computer now, and it doesn't seem like it has this capability anymore, which doesn't make sense to me. Doesn't fucking make sense.
All music is streamed now.
Fuck that. But one of the things I could do back in the day was that there was like this visualizer, and it would like have these,
oh yeah, the waveform.
Yes. And it would pulsate and whatever to the beat of whatever you're listening to. And I loved the visualizer. And then another thing you could do was you could put in lyrics. And you could actually time the lyrics and put in timestamps of when this phrase came up so that the lyrics would pop up when they were saying it. I would do that shit all the time.
Cutting edge back in 2000s.
All the time. All the time I would sync up lyrics to my music, and then that's how I would learn it. And then I'd jump over and make something in Microsoft Paint. You are
a grand master.
Microsoft Paint is basically Photoshop for me. I've made many a masterpiece.
There's so many things you do on Microsoft Paint right now. It's like I could do that 2 seconds in Photoshop. You just send me the pictures, or I can show you how to do it.
I'm a boomer. I tried using the magic wand in Photoshop one time, and I was like, click, click, click. Fuck this. Let me go back to Microsoft Paint.
Let me take 2 hours to cut this character out when I could just go in and have Photoshop do it for me. Photoshop
is rewarding.
Photoshop now has the ability to recognize your subject and just remove them from the background.
Yeah, you're trying to replace me with AI is what you're trying to do.
That's what I was saying. AI as a tool to help you become more efficient in your work is great. But replacing an entire job with Photoshop with AI is dumb.
True.
Yeah.
Trying to replace my manual labor in Microsoft Paint. I put my heart and soul into my creations. Yeah. But yeah, I miss doing that. I used to program song lyrics in program. I use that word very loosely. But I used to use that like timer function to put song lyrics in and sync them up to the music. It was one of my favorite things to do.
What a blast from the past when you said that
the visualizer.
The visualizer. Oh my God, that's so cool. Because you could either do it as a line or like at the circle.
Yes.
It's like, oh man, that's so cool. Oh no, and then there's the one that was like a warp thing that would do that. Oh man, wow, what a blast from the past, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what I'm saying. Bring me back and leave me there.
Yeah. Such a good
I don't want to be here.
I don't want to be here anymore.
We're living in a literal hellscape.
Yeah, the country's falling apart. Top 1% is profiting off of our work. And it's hot as hell outside. Bring me back.
All you can do is just laugh awkwardly because there's no other alternative.
What are you going to do? Not work?
Exactly. What are you gonna do? Not pay for groceries, you fucking idiot? Go in there and give me all your work for less than you should be getting.
Oh my God. This is the reality we live in now.
Yeah.
Like,
and then the CEO has the balls to be like, I think you're being ridiculous with your wants and needs. You want to be able to pay your mortgage?
Like what I will
That's
say,
a bit much, okay?
Like what I will say is, it's like,
God, we're bringing it back to things that make us mad.
Yeah, it's like, those comments are infuriating. It's like, do you hear yourself, Iger? Like, really?
Sell one of your yachts and then give some of that money to people.
Yeah, and it was infuriating. It's like Netflix CEOs, the partners, whoever in charge of Netflix, like, oh man, we got record profit because they profited from the pandemic because nobody could go anywhere. All they did was stream all their shit all day long. Mm-hmm. So they got record profit. Didn't give residuals to any of the people that created those projects. And they're like, oh man, we got record profits, man. What are we going to do? Spread the wealth to our employees? And absolutely not. Let's give ourselves like $24 million bonuses. It's like, really?
It's disgusting.
That's so disgusting. It's like you're making plenty of money. You're making plenty of money. Like, I saw the breakdown to what the writers are looking for in residuals or in equal pay. Like, across the board, studios would have to give up, like, I think Disney would have to give up 0.0095% of their profits. Netflix would have to give up 0.15% of their profits.
Oh boy.
Apple was somewhere around like, it's like point of a point of their profits. It's like you sneeze and you make that money as a CEO. It's like, just give people what they're worth.
And what they're asking for is what you would leave as a tip, like on your dinner.
At the bare minimum, they're asking for livable wages because everything costs.
That's so a bit much, guys. That you're asking for a lot.
That's unrealistic.
Livable wages? I don't know, guys.
And I don't get these people like, whoa, you're asking for more money. You get to work from home and do what you love. It's like half of the industry now of everybody works from home now. So you can't cry that anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I just saw one of my friends on Instagram who is an RN. He's a nurse and he works from home. I'm like, how is that possible?
I mean, I guess maybe he takes care of administrative stuff.
Maybe. Like, I don't know. But like
electronic paperwork, maybe they.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think he might be in an administrative position.
Because there's plenty of administrative stuff that goes along with medical stuff. Lord knows that I did that for enough time.
Yeah. But it's like, oh, you're working from home. It's like, everybody works from home now. If the pandemic showed us anything, you can work from home and everybody benefits.
Yeah.
Except for the real estate industry who are trying. Those are the people that are crying. Like, everyone needs to come back to work because we're not making money off our real estate, renting out these buildings for offices anymore. So
yeah.
Goddamn billionaires complaining that they can't jack up rent prices. That's another thing I don't get.
I want to buy a third house, but I can't. These people are asking for too much.
Just sell the properties. There's plenty of people that want to own houses. But we can't because interest rates are too high and everything costs so fucking much. It's a vicious cycle. Like, people want to sell property, but they can't sell property because nobody can afford the property. So, this is the life we live now.
Just bring me back to the early 2000s. When I would get home from school, I'd be really excited to put on fucking TRL or something.
Oh man, you was get home, you watch Sailor Moon because you're waiting for Dragon Ball Z to come on.
Can't relate.
That's why I watched Sailor Moon as a teenager.
As a young teenage
boy. As a young teenage boy. That's exactly why I watched
what? That's
Sailor
another
Moon.
Conversation for another time. Gender, whatever.
Not norms.
Like, gendered things.
Traditional gender
roles. Things. That's another conversation that I will get fucked up talking about because I feel so strongly about it.
Yeah.
If a young boy wants to watch Sailor Moon, who cares?
Hey, man.
Oh my God.
Hey, I'll have that conversation. Sailor Moon Crystal, if you want to watch the original Sailor Moon is so hard to watch. Just watch Crystal.
I never watched Sailor Moon ever.
Like, if you want like a typical like follow the formula for every episode type of anime, Sailor Moon all the way. It's like she does the exact same thing every episode. She cries, I can't beat this monster. My friend comes to help me. She finishes him off. Oh, Sailor Moon saved the day.
Spins around, gets into her final form, and then she gets to beat the bad guy.
Just watch Crystal. It's such an easier watch, and it actually does change the lore up a bit to where it's actually interesting. And Tuxedo Mask isn't just this dude that throws a rose and like, hey, you can do it, Sailor Moon. She can't do it until a man tells her she can.
Oh my god.
Yeah, with these traditional gender roles has been a hot topic with us
Lately.
especially recently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because it's hard not to see how deeply ingrained traditional gender roles are until you have a kid.
Yeah.
And you see how you want to talk about grooming. Oh boy. Don't get me started. I don't think I'm ready for this conversation right now.
I think we should just end there.
We've been talking for a while and I've already gotten angry. We can save that for another time when I'm having a good day and I want to ruin it.
I need my dose of hate today. Let's talk about traditional gender.
I need to rant about something. And oh boy, can I rant about traditional gender roles. Oh,
Ooh.
there are certain
I'm just seething.
there are certain things that I could just go on and on about, and I've had so many imaginary arguments in my head of things I want to say to people, but I don't because I want to preserve my own safety, because people be crazy out there today.
Oh yeah, the entire that bottom line, the world is going to hell.
Kinda.
Mm-hmm. It's hot as hell outside.
It's hot as hell.
And nobody can afford anything. Unless you're the top 1%.
Hey, her headphones not on. Don't say any bad words.
Well, then go ahead in there. So, Nicki, do you want to, where can they find you online?
You can find me on Twitter where I occasionally remember that I have an active one and I say things at Dimmy, DIMMMYYY.
As for me, Instagram and TikTok at Rogue Leader Drew. If you listen to us on audio form, please follow the feed and rate us.
You're so cute. And if you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, and click the bell icon in the lower right-hand corner to see when we do things on the YouTube.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the RAD Cast. We'll see you guys next time.